Hey man, I hope you had a good day so far. I wanted to film this video because I know that myself and a lot of other men who are watching videos about relationships on YouTube, and especially guys who are into self-improvement and stuff, I might have heard that they should strive to have a traditional relationship with their woman. Because in the modern kind of relationships, the 50-50 relationship, right? Where men and women become more and more similar, polarity and therefore attraction gets lost. And I want to talk about that because I think that thought of going back to a traditional relationship is very short-sighted. I'm not just saying that. I'm in a 5.5-year relationship myself, and I've gone through this phase of being in a 50-50 relationship, of there being very little polarity, very little attraction, especially sexually, and I've more and more come out of that. So what I'm saying here is this: what I've learned over the years is there are kind of 3 stages of relationships that we have seen over the last few decades happen. The first one was a dependency relationship. That's what most self-improvement guys, I won't say any names, but you know who I'm talking about, right? That's what most of them say we should have again. A dependency relationship, which pretty much just means there is a lot of polarity, but that polarity is there because the woman depends on the man for money and for status and for security, and the man depends on the woman for sex and love and affection. Then we have evolved past that, and most people have evolved to a 50-50 relationship, which is the modern style of relationships where men and women are not really partners, not really lovers, but more friends. Someone said roommates recently, someone I talked to. And I think that actually hits the nail on the head, to be honest. Roommates. There's little attraction. You like each other, you love each other, but there's very little attraction, very little sex, and that is not really fulfilling for both partners, for both lovers. And then we can go a stage further, which then includes both respect for each other and love for each other and not depending on each other, and polarity. And I want to explain to you how you can get there yourself and how I'm more and more getting there. I would say I'm pretty far already, to be honest. But I always, I have very high goals, so I'm probably doing better in my relationship than most people. Let me correct that, I'm definitely doing better in my relationship than most people. Life is cause and effect. There are many reasons that I'm in a 5.5-year relationship at 22 years old. And so, getting back to the point. What happens if we build a dependency relationship is many other men can compete with us. If you just take the most basic example of money, well, there's other men who can offer your woman money. If money and status is everything you really have to offer, and yes, your woman might depend on that, but she can get it from other men, well, and that's not really a good foundation for a relationship. Because sure, making more money and helping your woman out financially builds polarity. But that polarity is very futile, because what is polarity really? Polarity just means energy. It means there's a flow of sexual energy between the two lovers, masculine, feminine, which can be the man being the masculine, the woman being the feminine, can also turn around. Both is possible. There just has to be polarity. Then the sexual attraction is there. So, energy. If you want to build that energy and still keep up the respect and the love, the genuine love for each other, and have kind of a free feeling in the relationship, not depending on your partner for stuff, not making your partner dependent on stuff, which also doesn't feel good for most people, then what you can do is pretty much just give your gifts freely. Give them without expecting. And give them not to get something, but simply to give. I talked about this a lot in the last video. The nature of the masculine is giving. We see this in things like men in the manosphere world often talk about semen retention and that stuff. Well, why do we do that? Because when a man ejaculates, he loses energy. Meaning if he has sex with a woman, he gives that energy. That's the masculine energy, is giving. I'll give you a few examples from my relationship. My girl, does she need my guidance through life? To be honest, no. We live in Germany. This is a very safe country. She can do everything by herself. The system is set up in a way where pretty much every human with a few brain cells can survive quite well. And my girl has a bit more than a few brain cells, so she doesn't need me. But that doesn't mean she doesn't want me. That doesn't mean that she doesn't want my guidance. And the same is true the other way around. I can relax without my girl. I can relax sometimes quite well. When I force myself to relax, most of the time I don't relax, but I can relax. But that doesn't mean I want to relax by myself and I want to force myself to relax. I enjoy working really hard for a few days and then spending time with my girl and getting her rejuvenating, healing energy. I really enjoy that. I haven't seen my girl in 7 days, I think, something around that, 6-7 days, and tomorrow we're gonna spend time together. And I'm really looking forward to it because it's gonna recharge my batteries. And that's what I mean with giving your gifts freely. She gives me that energy freely, without any attachment to wanting something from me. And I give that energy, that guidance that I mentioned, to her freely. And then we have polarity, and we also have respect. And this idea is not from me, this idea to build a relationship like this. I've read this from David Deida, author of a book you might have heard of, Way of the Superior Man. I read it in different books from him, but he doesn't mention it in Way of the Superior Man, but he mentions it in different books. And I honestly think that's the way to go, to be honest. Honestly, to be honest, that's a bit of a weird sentence. But you get what I'm saying. What this has done for my relationship is fulfillment connected with freedom. That's the best way I can describe it. I am someone who's quite anxious in his relationship. In the past, when there was little polarity and little attraction to each other, I got quite anxious. I thought maybe she's cheating on me, maybe she's not having sex with me because she, has someone else, right? And what this has allowed, this new way of thinking about the relationship has allowed me to feel much more secure in the relationship, have more of a secure base in the relationship that I have trust in. And therefore, it allows me to be way more autonomous, way more free. Same thing for her. She's not really anxious, but same thing for her. She can relax way more. So man, if so far you've heard these guys talk about, traditional relationship, blah, blah, blah. Maybe think about whether that's everything that you can actually offer a woman. Because if it is, I don't want to sugarcoat it, but you're fucked. If money and status is everything you can offer a woman, you might attract women. You will attract women. But maybe not the woman you want. Maybe not the woman that can actually fulfill you. Not fulfill you, that's the wrong word. The woman that can complement you. your complementary opposite. That's what we're looking for, right? Then we have polarity. So man, don't take a step back. Don't go back to the kind of relationship our grandparents had, just for the sake of getting some polarity. Because that kind of relationship, there are reasons why people got out of that relationship. There are reasons why people were looking for a 50-50 relationship, because they didn't feel respected. Mostly females, but I think also males. And that's a thing that we need to conquer. It's a thing that you need to conquer in your relationship. So don't go a step back, go a step further, and to do that, don't gatekeep the gifts you can give. Instead, develop them. For me, developing my presence, developing my ability to make her feel loved, developing this is a big one that not many people talk about, my ability to see the humor in the current moment, to just be free of this attachment that we often have to getting hurt, just keeping my heart open and showing myself and my girl that I'm not bothered if she says something that's maybe not perfect, because she's testing me, right? And then if I react humorous to her test, she's gonna feel that freedom that I have in that. So don't gatekeep your gifts, give them freely instead. I have a beard hair in my nose. That's really upsetting. And talk about this with your woman. If you're in a relationship right now, talk about this with her. Maybe show her this video. This video isn't meant for women. I talk to men here, and that means I talk in a specific style, but so maybe it's not perfect if you show her this video, because I'll be quite honest, these videos aren't made for women. I don't speak to women here. But maybe just tell her what you learned from this video. And if you think that that's the way to go for your relationship, maybe tell her that you think that that's the way, and that that's what you should do. And also, don't be afraid to admit your mistakes. I heard this advice of, just build a traditional relationship again, and I tried. Thing is, my girl is a pretty good woman, and she could see right through me. And she didn't appreciate the fact that I wanted to build dependence, that I wanted to make her dependent on me. We're building a free community for men who are in relationships and who want to improve their relationships. What we do in there is we give advice to each other. One guy learns something, he makes a post, and shares his lesson, shares what he did to make his girl feel more loved, or what he did to build more polarity, or what he did to get out of a 50-50 relationship while still keeping respect, all this stuff. There's really mature guys in there. I'm really happy with the quality of guys in there, of all ages, to be honest. Mostly young men, but we also have older guys in there. So if you want to check that out, the link is in the description. And apart from that, man, I say this in almost every video, but I know that people who watch these kinds of videos aren't doing too well, maybe. These videos are made for people who aren't doing too well, and therefore they of course attract these people. So because I know that, I want to tell you that everything you're going through right now is temporary, and that there is a way out, and that you should never stop seeking that way out. Once we stop seeking a way out of things, we give up on ourselves. Even if that's your relationship and you want to just genuinely help your woman, you still give up on yourself. And we'll feel that when we give up on ourselves. It's not a pretty feeling. I experienced that in the past and it's not cool. So man, I hope this video taught you something. I hope you paid attention, because I think what I said was really valuable. I found it to be insanely valuable in my relationship. Yeah, apart from that, check out the community. Tomorrow is another another day. Give it another shot. Continue striving. You got this. Sounds cheesy, but sometimes we need to hear this. You got this, man. Best of luck. I'll see you soon.